Hello everybody, Joe Baconuts here, welcome back for another episode of Umineko. Last time we left off, Hideyoshi's about to get fucking murked as, Natsuki has a mental breakdown in the closet. She's just like me, for real. Anyway, yeah, sorry about this video, coming up a little, smidge late. Half a day late. What can you do? Man, I'm fucking tired today. Last night fucking sucked. Went into work, had to take my PT test, which, ooh, oodles and boodles of fun. Go run around and do a bunch of push-ups and sit-ups. Love it. The new standard, though, very generous with the points on the run, like, by a lot. The old standard was, like, in my age bracket, the maximum amount of time you had was, like, 13:35 or something. It might have been 36, but, you know, the 1 second doesn't really matter. And that was, like, to barely get any points. Like, if you got that and you did shitty on the push-ups and sit-ups, you would just fail. You just couldn't get enough points to pass. But they revamped it. And now you can, like, finish the run with, like, it's like 16:20 now. Like, an extra 3 minutes tacked on. And as long as you max out the push-ups and sit-ups, which I'm able to do because I'm a fucking monster, you can still pass. It's ridiculous. But I ran pretty good. Ran like a, well, I say pretty good. It was like a 12:50 mile and a half. Like, from the old standard, which is what it's like ingrained in my brain to go by. Pretty lackluster. Like, even in the not good category. I think even, like, categorically on the paper, it says, like, yeah, that was shit. Work better next time. Not verbatim, but you know what I mean. But still managed to scrape up more than 90 points, so I don't have to do it for another whole year. And then we got stuck in fucking chem gear for nearly 4 hours. Full chem gear too. That's what sucks. Like, gas mask, the gloves, the boots, the entire fucking suit. Which, even if you're not moving around, you just cook. Because there's literally no part of your body that's open to the air to, like, vent your body heat. You're just like a fucking baked potato and some tin foil. So even just sitting inside at the desk doing nothing for 4 hours in, like, room temperature 70, 75 degree, you know, in interior normal temperatures, it was brutal. And then I came home and I had to do a bunch of homework for school because, again, every week, it's like, all right, it's the last day and a half, time to do all the work I had the previous week. Really got to work on that. Still not even done. I just did all the homework, I just got to write all the essays now. But anyway, got my coffee, had half a cup. Let's go. Might be a relatively short one, because, you know, as I said, I'm fucking tired, dude. My heart leapt. Hideyoshi-san, who must have been lying prostrate? Don't know why I couldn't just say he was lying flat on the bed, but lying prostrate. Prostrate? Yeah, on the bed, made a sound as though he'd bounded to his feet. Did he notice me? Also, I hope my microphone isn't peaking like crazy. I figured out what caused it. Like, it was like 2 weeks ago now. So for you guys, it would have been like 7, 8 episodes ago. It's one of the websites I have to go to record my my speaking the mic for my language class. It, like, jacks all my audio settings and sets it to max. So then I have to go back in my computer afterwards and lower my mic down, so that way I'm not just shooting in the red with every single word I say. He was clearly in a struggle with someone. Who could it be? No, it doesn't matter who it is. It's probably the culprit. They're probably trying to take Hideyoshi-san's life at this very moment. Shouldn't I jump out of here and help him? Even if I couldn't help him, I could at least call for help. No, but if I do something like that, I'll be questioned about why I was hiding here. However, if Hideyoshi-san goes on to get killed now... No, that wasn't the time to be saying that. At this rate, he'll definitely be killed. I'll jump out of here and help him right now. But if I do that, even if I can save Hideyoshi-san, I might be abandoning my husband's life. Hideyoshi-san's life and my husband's life. How sinful it would be to try to weigh those against each other. Just then, there was the loud sound of the door opening and the chain being pulled tight. Someone was trying to open the door despite the chain being set.
あなた、私よ。開けてくれる？エヴァ！あなた？何？どうしたの？あなた！ここを開けて！
I'm sure he would if he could.
これ開けて！開けてあなた！誰か！
Yeah, put that screeching skills to good use. She opened and closed the door over and over again with all her might, but of course, she couldn't snap the chain. Eva-san raced down the hallway, calling for help in a loud voice. By this time, the room had settled back into silence, and that earlier feeling of Hideyoshi being in a noisy struggle had disappeared completely. What's going on here? So, right now, I'm in the same room as the murderer who killed Hideyoshi-san? Dun dun dun. In that case, the culprit should try to escape from the room as soon as possible. So why are they staying so quiet in here? I haven't heard anything. Nothing that might have been the culprit who attacked Hideyoshi-san rushing away. No matter how much I strain my ears, I can't sense anyone in the room. In fact, so silent that it makes what happened just a second ago feel like an illusion. In other words, does this mean that the culprit is holding his breath, standing right in front of this closet, waiting for me to shamelessly come out? I don't even know what to be scared of anymore. Only I could just melt away into the darkness of this closet. I mustn't remain in this room any longer. I get the feeling I have more to worry about than just my personal safety. What should I do? I don't even know if it's a good idea to leave this closet. Before long, the clamor of many rushing footsteps approached. I held my breath again and melted away into the darkness of the closet. Ava dashed back, bringing everyone with her. Goto was gripping a bolt cutter. It was to cut the chain with. After trying to open the door again and confirming that the chain was still set, she yelled through the crack in the door. Goto stuck the large bolt cutter, which looked like it could slice off whole fingers, into the crack in the door and easily severed the chain. Also, God, my back. My fucking back hurts. Oh, I like tweaked it during the run. I get really nauseous whenever I run, which is a pain, because once I hit like my mile mark, it's like having an absolute knot in my gut, and I have to make the choice either to just let go and fucking puke all over the side of the track, and then hope I get a second wind to make up for the time I had to spend, you know, crab walk shuffling along the grass, or just tough it out and like feel like I'm dying the whole time, which, you know, really affects your form. And you know, I must have landed a couple weird times and just my spine, my lumbago is acting up. Jesus Christ. As soon as it was severed, Ava pushed Goto aside and dashed in. The others tried to follow her, but they bumped into Ava, who had fallen to her knees moaning. So even though they couldn't tell much of what was going on inside the room, they could tell by Ava's moans that they were too late. Speaking of my back pain, I need some fucking Tylenol, dude. Some ibuprofen. I didn't think of taking any before I started recording, because, you know, when I'm just at my computer doing nothing, I'm lounged back, you know, in my chair, full recline. So that's fine and comfortable, but when I record, I have to sit up straight. I say lying directly to everyone and myself, because it's more like I'm hunched over like a shrimp over the microphone. Which, definitely aggravating it.
主人を見て早く。
今見ます。
Yeah, don't rush the man.
嘘だろ。秀吉おじさんが休むって出てって10分かそこいらだってのに。
お風呂場には誰もいない？
はい、誰もおりません。
なんということでしょう。
Locked room murder. Still no fucking clue how they got, you know, they got in episode 1, you know, in their bathroom when they were locked up.
残念だが、手の施しようが。
No, Hideyoshi, no, no. Hideyoshi, of course, discovering the guest room on the first floor of the mansion, he had been pierced through the back with a demon stake. His tip reached as far as his lungs. Because he was laying face down on the bed, suicide must be ruled out. Andrew stood up, hanging his head sadly. It was only natural. Because anyone, even if they weren't a doctor, would think that at a glance. Hideyoshi was lying face down on the bed, and stuck deep into his back was something like a blade with an intricate demonic design on it. When Ava pulled it out with all her might, you could tell that it wasn't a blade, but some kind of stake. And its sharp tip had penetrated nearly 15 centimeters in. It had probably dug deep into his lungs. If it had been stuck in any harder, the tip might have even pierced all the way through to the surface of his chest.
だから待っててって言ったのに。どうして一人で先に行っちゃったのよ。
I feel like half your speaking lines, Ava, are just wailing and screaming.
ちくしょうめ。まだ血が足りねえってのかよ。
やはりこの屋敷のどこかに隠れていて私たちを狙っているのでしょうか。
I don't know, maybe.
それよりおかしいよ。この部屋は戸締まりが完璧なのよ。
確かに。
Alright, let's get Erica in here.
鎧戸も全て閉まってますし、扉にはさっき
Get the great detective.
それはおかしいではありませんか。それじゃ犯人はどうやってこのお部屋の秀吉様を襲ったというんですか。
扉の隙間からこの杭を投げて刺したとか。
Fucking
その
MLG
隙間か
trick
ら
shot
秀吉さん
kill.
のベ
Jesus
ッドは完
Christ.
全に死角よ。銃を使ったって殺せやしない。
Fucking ricochet.
おかしな話になったわ。密室殺人。
密室殺人。
そうと決めつけるのは早いぜ。風呂場の天井を外して天井裏に逃げた。
鎧戸は
Yep, that's your cue.
外からはびくともしませんでした。今確認してきました。
エリコ。
There's no wonder everything felt so quiet and relaxed. At some point, Erica had split from the group. Just now, she had finally arrived and poked her face in from the hallway. She had heard that a crime had occurred in this room, seen everyone rushing towards it, and taken the opposite approach by circling around to the outer wall. And she had gone all by herself to check that the shutters were down on the windows, that you couldn't do anything with them, anything with them from the outside, and that there was nothing out of the ordinary. I was confused when I saw the comma there between windows and that, because it's like, it looks like there's a third thing, but there isn't, so I'm not sure, you know, the grammatical accuracy of the sentence, and then the third thing appeared.
室内は案の定お約束で。
そういう言い方はねえだろ。
お悔やみ申し上げます。で、室内の状況は？
扉にはチェーンがかかっていて、私たちは切断して入ったわ。
そして窓には全て鎧戸。しっかり内側から施錠されてる。
奥は何を揉めてるんです？
Well, you know, Ava was arguing with Nanjo about something. Apparently, she wanted to carry the body to the parlor. Andra tried to calm her down, saying that they should leave the crime scene as untouched as possible until the police came.
ジョージたちの死体はそうしたらどうなったの？犯人にどこかへ持っていかれちゃったのよ。
犯人は殺すだけじゃ飽き足らず、遺体にまで何か無体なことをするつもりなのかもしれない。だからダメ。
You know, do some avant-garde art.
ここへ主人を一人ぼっちで残していくなんて。
You know, pose all the corpses. Ava did have a point. After all, the prior victims were all carried away after we were shown their terrible and fatal wounds.
エリカちゃん、現場をそのままで保存したいだろうね。今回はちょいと折れてもらうぜ。
どうぞご勝手に。私にとって興味があるのは、金蔵さんの書斎よりはるかにまともな密室が出現したことだけです。死体には興味ありませんので、どうぞご自由に。
Battler looked at her with an expression of clear disgust, but it rolled off her like water off a duck's back. Yeah, it's like a math equation where the end is already solved, but you gotta fucking do all the gobbledygook in the middle to, you know, make it fit.
搬出していただいて結構ですよ。死体。あ、それとも私が邪魔ですか？
Erica backed away from the door to open a path. There was no trace of any sadness for the dead. Her eyes simply blazed at the thought of this locked-room murder that had appeared. In any event, the great detective had given her permission. Ava and some others wrapped Hideyoshi's body up in the sheets, and Goda and Rudolph started carrying him out. The sheets quickly turned red. It was so painful to see that Shen and Kumasawa stripped the blankets off the bed further to cover the body. Oh god, I forget the exact order to do it, but there's a way you can make a stretcher out of like a singular blanket if you fold it around two poles in the exact way, where like the weight of the body pushing down on it like holds it tight. I learned to do it in the Boy Scouts, but it's one of those things where if I had like, you know, two staves in front of me and a decent sized blanket, I could probably do it. But, you know, being able to describe it off the top of my head, no shot. I was gonna say they could use like the curtain rods, but you know, those are some real flimsy looking curtain rods up there. Not the right shape.
Hi.
あなた。あなた。
いいこと？みんな。これからは常に団体行動。絶対に孤立してはダメ。
犯人が源氏さんを襲った時点で。
You know, you've already heard me bitch about my back. Now it's time for me to bitch about my head. Having the gas mask on for so long, I had the fucking top straps on way too tight. So it was like fucking pinching my forehead the entire time. I have a killer headache.
しかし、チェーンまでされていたのに、どうやって？
Longest fucking gas attack in the world. Jesus Christ. Where were we? The fucking Psalm? You know, who's launching gas canisters at us for 4 fucking hours? Jesus. I'm so fucking upset about that.
マスターキーがあったってあの部屋に押し入るのは不可能だ。
きっとベアトリーチェ様の仕業ですよ。
That's oh god, what is it? It's libel if it's in print. Is it slander? I don't know. Defamation?
碑文は書かれ、すぐに儀式の意味は失われたはず。
わかるものか。こんなの魔女にしか不可能だ。
魔女にしか不可能ですか。いい響きです。
エリカちゃん、話を聞いて。
Nah, she's getting all fired up on her own.
私たちはこれから全体行動って決まったわ。私たちはまず
Get her like one of those monkey backpacks with like the leash on it, so that way she can't get too far away from the group.
探偵ごっこはそれからにしない？
When she heard the words playing detective, Erica grimaced visibly. Then, after everyone had filed out, she took a single step into the now empty guest room, looked around, and burned the scene into her eyes. Erica claimed to have a photographic memory. If that was true, those few seconds were more than enough for her. Later on, she could sip black tea in the parlor while perusing her mental photographs of the crime scene and enjoy playing the part of the armchair detective. Then, suddenly, her eyes stopped on a closet off to the side. A closet for hanging overcoats. If it was large enough to fit a coat on a hanger, a person should be able to hide in it. Slowly, Erica stretched her hand out towards the closet. Erica's shoulder was grabbed roughly from behind.
探偵さん。団体行動を乱すなって修学旅行で習わなかったか。
私が旅行に行くと必ず人が死ぬってお約束がありました。
Maybe you should stay at home then. It's gonna be a couple years till the internet gets big, but you know, you can be a fucking hiki neat in like a decade or so. Not be a bother to anyone. Rudolph told them to hurry. After clicking her tongue and glaring at the closet, Erica followed Battler back to the parlor for the time being. The sound of the footsteps finally faded. That time of terror, when I feared that even the dripping of the cold sweat that covered my cheeks might be noticed, was finally over. I slowly opened the closet door with hands that still couldn't stop trembling and dashed out into the hallway. It's alright. No one found me. Still, it's a good thing they didn't lock the door. If they had, I wouldn't be able to lock behind me after I left, and they'd find that suspicious. Lock it? I feel like there should be an it between lock and behind. Anyway, I should leave this place. Then I'll return to my room and pretend that I was sleeping the whole time. That's right, I have to get back quickly. A new murder has occurred. They'll probably try to tell me about it. And they'll probably do it immediately after they carry Hideyoshi-san's body back to the parlor. I can get around a phone call by saying I was asleep and didn't notice, but if they come knocking directly, that'll be bad. I have to get back quickly before they try to force their way in. Don't even know whether I should sprint back noisily to save every second I can, sneak back with hushed footsteps, or walk around normally as though I don't know anything has happened. The one thing I'm certain of is that I have to avoid bumping into them on their way back to the parlor. I have to get back to my room at a quick pace without being noticed by anyone. Gee, if only you had some magical friends that would be able to help you out, you know, just teleport you there. I pass through the hall to the lobby. Once I ascended the main staircase in the lobby, I'll be almost there.
Natsushi-san?
Just as she was about to go up the large staircase, Natsuki heard Erica call out to her. And she was so surprised that she visibly jumped.
ちょうど今からあなたにも知らせに行こうと思ってたんです。
それはありがとうございます。
Yep, just say you were coming down.
それで何かありましたか？
今、夏日さん、階段を登ってました？
Nope.
夏日さんの部屋って上ですよね。
I forgot to lock the door. At least I think I did, so I went back to go check. Erica coldly pointed out this strange fact. Natsuki cursed her bad luck.
寝つけなくて客間に戻ろうとしていたのですが、自分の部屋に鍵をかけたら不安になり戻ろうとしたのです。心配性なのでよくあることです。気にしないでください。
ああ、よくありますよね。記憶力に自信のない人にありがちな癖です。
Erica was clearly making fun of her, and Natsuki might have put on an annoyed expression under normal circumstances. However, right now, Natsuki was extremely relieved to hear Erica admit that this is nothing out of the ordinary.
エリカさんこそお一人でどうしたんですか？
例の客室を調べようかと思いまして。
客室？
ええ、大変なことになったじゃないですか。
Have they? I wouldn't know.
現場検証は私の権利ですので。
Erica's probing gaze peered deep into Natsuki's eyes. She could tell. Erica was already suspicious of Natsuhi. Judging by the subtle nuances of her words, this was almost certainly an attempt to make Natsuhi slip up and reveal that she knew about the Hideyoshi murder she hadn't been told about. Natsuhi played dumb and asked again what had happened.
何か?
いえ、何でも。また最初の事件の繰り返しですね。
Is it?
どういう意味ですか?
またあなたは自室で、そして今回もそのアリバイを証明できないわけですよね。
おっしゃっている意味がわかりません。
Does look pretty bad.
逆を言えば、私が自室にいなかったことをあなたこそどう証明されるわけですか?
おや、そうきましたか。ならばそれはおいおい。鍵は後にしてください。皆さんに重大な話があります。
Alright.
鍵を確認したら
Gather
戻
the
ります。
suspects.
先に始めていてください。
秀吉さんが殺されました。その件についてです。
What? No, say it ain't so. She had planned on escaping to her own room using her lock as an excuse, claiming to have a sudden headache and staying in bed for the rest of the time. However, now she had been informed of Hideyoshi's murder. It would be clearly suspicious to say it can wait and escape to her room. She was already under suspicion for being seen heading up the stairs to the second floor. She couldn't afford to do anything else suspicious. Natsuhi gave up, headed for the parlor as Erica had urged her to do. When she opened the door to the parlor, Ava's sobs poured out, and everyone stared at Natsuhi with grave faces. Those gazes almost made it look as though they suspected her. It was now painfully apparent to Natsuhi. This might have been what that man was after. It was a trap to create a baffling locked room murder and frame her for it. But I couldn't disobey him. I couldn't sacrifice my husband's life. And while it's true that I was hiding in the closet, that was all. I haven't committed murder. I might fall under enormous suspicion, but I'm still not the culprit. And most importantly, I'm not under suspicion yet. I'll tell the police everything. I'll have to endure until then. I'm sure one of the servants is feeding information to the culprit. Even in a situation like this, if I talk about my husband being a hostage, the culprit will hear, and it might be used as an excuse to kill him.
ちょうど夏日さんが戻ってきてくれました。全員が揃ったところで、私から皆さんにとても重要な話があります。
重要な話？
え？重要な話です。最初の事件からをすべて皆さんの前で整理したいと思います。
それなら他の皆さんとなさってください。私はそういうことは警察に任せるべきと思っています。関心がありません。
整理した上で重要なお話があるのです。あなたにも誰にも断る権利がありません。
Okay, now I think we're at the beginning of like where we started this episode at. Not this episode right now is in, 28 minutes and 27 seconds ago, but episode 5, the first answer arcs. Erica used her detective authority to proclaim the start of an assembly. None of the pieces could disobey. Praying that she wouldn't become the topic of conversation, Natsuhi reluctantly sat on the sofa as she had been urged to.
あ、すみません。その扉閉めてもらえます？
あ、はい。
Shen and Cannon closed the door. Since they had just now decided to lock all doors and windows carefully, Cannon locked it as well. The lock which existed to protect the safety of this room felt like a lock on a prison cell to Natsuhi, one that would hold her there and prevent any escape. Natsuhi still hadn't noticed that ever since Erica had left into the corridor to go check the crime scene in Hideyoshi's room, her goal had changed. In short, from Erica's point of view, the sound of the lock was truly... Erica said that suddenly. Baron Castell said that suddenly.
あら早い。何？もう犯人分かっちゃったの？まだ事件だって全然進んでないのよ。もう
少し殺させていろいろと手がかりを集めればいいのに。
Nah, it's fine. You know, we completed the optional quest objectives.
さあラムダ、すべての駒を
You
集め
know,
る
we
さ。
can just like, you know, skip right to the end.
ここからが一番面白いんじゃな
Pass the
い？
perception check.
思い切り楽しみましょう。
どうかしらね。お手並み拝見と行くわよ。
24時のゲームセットを待たずに
Are
も
going
う仕
down
掛
the
けてき
layers.
たとはな。ベルンカステル教名、気の早い御人よ。
相当の早仕掛けですな。この段階でもう勝てる算段があるとは。
普段なら魔女の存在を主張するだけで勝てるけど、今回は夏日や金蔵や守るものが多いわ。面倒な戦いになりそうね。
面倒な戦い、大いに望むところよ。
I mean, you might have a good shield up front, but, you know, maybe she found an old goat trail to sneak up behind you and stab you in the
わ
back.
らわの黄金の島でこれ以上の好き勝手はさせぬわ。受けて立とうぞ、ベルンカステル教フルドエリカ。
In the Golden Land, the endless rain continued to fall. Battler was nowhere to be seen. It would very soon reach the time when Battler had joined in on the 5th game, and control of his piece would be passed on to him. In other words, only now, in this final stage of the game, when Bernkastel had pinpointed the culprit, was Battler finally going to be allowed to participate. He had left the Arbor a short while ago for that reason. Now, the only ones in sight were Virgilia, who continued to knit silently, and Beato, who just sat there blankly amidst the smell of her black tea. Not even putting the cup to her lips. Virgilia stopped knitting for a moment, and looked out across the vast the golden rose garden that extended as far as the eye could see.
バトラ君は誰が犯人云々というだけのゲームなら、もう二度と屈することのない力を身につけたと言えるでしょう。第4のゲームまでであなたは全てのメッセージを彼に伝えています。つまりバトラ君はいつでも全ての真実に気づいても良いということです。
Well, any moment means, you know, 3.5 more, more episodes.
しかし
Or maybe not. Maybe he reaches the truth.
だから
And, you know, there's just more things that come up.
このままゲームを幾百と続けたとしても永遠に解けはしない。まるで青い鳥を探すかのように永遠にさまよい続けるだけ。
And that, Beatrice, goes for you as well. Even if you played this game hundreds more times, you'll never arrive at the answer you seek. You'll never reach the truth. Golden Wind Requiem? Bernkastel will abuse this game without a doubt. Lambda Delta will also churn this game about with the utmost arrogance. At a glance, that may be humiliating and appear to you and Battler as though the game had been stolen from you. However, that is something the two of you need right now. To bring an end to Battler's weak side. To bring an end to your hesitation.
だからあなたはあの二人を呼んだのです。あなたたちの永遠の拷問を終わらせるため。
I mean, that's fair. They kind of reached an equilibrium. They would just keep spinning their wheels indefinitely forever.
あの二人はあなたに勝利か敗北のいずれかを与えるでしょう。しかしそれはいずれであっても、もはや慈悲に満ちたものです。あなたにももうそれは分かっているはず。
Virgilia faced Beato, whom she had come to adore like a daughter, with cold eyes that she must not have shown often. It was like the gaze of a mother who, instead of scolding, silently urges her child to recognize their mistake. Hit him with that, I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed.
ベアトリーチェ、あなたはいつまでそうして生きるでもなく死ぬでもなく天国に昇るでもなく地獄に落ちるでもなく煉獄山の頂上でぼんやりとしているつもりなの。
Yeah, either start paying rent or get the fuck out.
私はワルギリア、彼を煉獄山に案内し、頂上のあなたのところまで連れてきました。
Did Virgil? I thought Virgil couldn't leave hell, and Dante had to go to purgatory by himself and then ascend to the you know paradise or whatever, and go see all the fucking stratas of angels and whatnot.
そしてあなたはベアトリーチェ。彼の手を取って
Or,
天国へ登
brought
る
him as in,
彼を
sent him
抱
on
い
his
て地
path.
獄へ落ちるか選ばなくてはならない。
Guided him with your advice that you gave in, quote unquote, the circles of hell. I've only read the cliff notes of, the Inferno. Don't take what I say as like, fucking actual fact. Did you know that the tribulations of purgatory, which lie in the gap between heaven and hell, are sometimes more tortuous than even hell itself? On the gates of hell it is written that you must abandon all hope. A human without a hope can accept their suffering and give up. However, the denizens of purgatory have hope. A hope of possibly reaching heaven. A hope that cannot be abandoned. And that tortures them. Even in the depths of hell, no greater torture device exists than the single pin known as hope.
飛びなさい、煉獄の崖より。淡く脆くてくだらない希望の未練ごとパンドラの箱を開け放ってしまいなさい。怖いでしょう、箱を開けるのは。
Ryoto was silent, but with a single tear, she nodded slightly.
箱の中の猫は生きているのか、それを確かめる時に来ました。
Like, this cat's been sitting in the box for a long time, Beatrice,
死んでいる猫ならば早く供養して天へ登ってもらいなさい。
The more you let it sit, the longer and more extreme the stink is going to be when you take the lid off if it is dead.
生きている猫ならば
It's like a
早く
Band-Aid.
餌を与えて
Do it quick.
全ての愛情を注いであげなさい。生き死にに関係なく、あなたの猫箱は猫を永遠に冒涜しています。あなたが開くことを恐れた箱の鍵をあの二人が持ってきてくれましたよ。
How deep? Beatrice, the time has come for you to die. I hope that your heart will be stopped by the hand of the person you desire. All the way to midnight, huh? Just speedrun right past all the exposition, huh? Are we gonna have to listen for all 12 rings of the bell? Or can I hit enter and just... All the pieces from the game board were gathered. All the humans, furniture, witches, and the witches on an even higher level had gathered in one place. I say it's like the coronation room, but not quite. This place was like a solemn cathedral with an unbelievably high ceiling. I mean, is it? Doesn't look that high. Unless Unless that little dome isn't like a dome, it's just an arch. I think it's just an arch with like a ball floating in it, and the ceiling, you know, extends beyond it more up. White stonework, golden ornaments. Though there were windows, there were no entrances or exits. It was a strange, strange place. But for some reason, no one wondered where the strange place was, because they were not given the right to think of this place as strange. When I was about to say, like, are we talking all the pieces, like everyone? Like this is the post-game wrap-up, or is it like, you know, just the one still kicking? The three witches were seated on special thrones, set upon a very high balcony. In the center sat the Game Master, Lambda Delta, and on either side of the semicircular balcony sat Berncastel and Beatrice, facing each other. Below them, Erica ran forwards, lifted the corners of her skirt, and bowed respectively. Alright, Sim. Erica and Berncastel exchanged nasty smiles that would make anyone want to avert their gaze. And then Lambda Delta appears like, huh? Gaze? You talking about me? What? The ruler of the game spoke with words of power. Though her words were spoken inside such a vast space, they rang out with the force of a bell in a bell tower. Oh, is this fucking Alcoholics Anonymous? And I'm an alcoholic. You were definitely an alcoholic. Fucking liver shot by the time you're 12. A little curt, but...
途中よりの参加となっております。魔女集会開催のこの時点ではまだ無参加ということです。お分かりでありますか？分かってるぜ。しばらくは発言権がないってことだ。ご理解感謝であります。
Even though Battler held a rank second only to the witches, he sat on the foremost pew with the other relatives, all by himself at one end. He met the gaze of Beato, who was up on the balcony. Look, the priorities have changed. I almost said that I was fighting Beato's witch illusions. Ordinarily, Beato was my one and only enemy. But now, Erica and those witches who started tampering with Beato's tail are my enemies as well. Who should I fight and how? Maybe it's a good thing I won't have the right to speak for a while. I'll keep a cool head and calmly watch everything unfold. He says, lying to himself and everyone around. Yes, Battler, the notably cool-headed protagonist. Erica greeted the witches above her and the humans behind her once again. Let's just go oldest to youngest. Urged by 45 to introduce himself, Kinzo stood up. That just fucking flew out like an eagle. He has a Batman cape and he just glided down.
後ろ宮エヴァン生きてる。
ルドルフ、この後もずっと後ろ宮だからな。
Oh yeah, that's fair.
ローザです。第一の番に
Oh, among family. And friends.
ジェシカ。同じく
employees.
第一の番に死亡だぜ。
ジョージです。同じく第一の番に死亡。
Like a fucking chump.
マリア、死んじゃったけど、私はこうして喋ってる。ね？死ぬことなんて大した問題じゃないでしょ？
後ろ宮夏日です。生きております。
Or are you?
秀吉や、ついさっき殺されたばかりや。
キリエよ、まだ生きてる。
南条です。私も流れておりますな。
源氏と申します。Me too.
第一の番に死亡でございます。
シャノンです。生存してます。
カノンです。同じく生
存。ゴーダです。よろしくお願いします。皆様方。
熊沢でございます。よろしくお願いします。
I was about to say, nice to meet you. What the fuck know these people then? No, the witches. Not really my aesthetic. It's a little gaudy. Also not a big fan of just the, repeating copy-paste, decor, I don't want to say it screams tacky, but, lack of creativity. Virgilia's group could also be seen. There was a second balcony, different from the one Beato's group was on, which jutted out like a raised audience seating. They sat there, looking down as though they were at a theater. That was a fucking quick transition. I guess because she didn't fade in, she just made a portal and just doop. That's an important job, bud. Hello, Stakes.
煉獄の七姉妹を代表してご挨拶申し上げます。第二の番の秀吉殺人を担当しました。
Well, that wasn't very nice of you.
煉獄の七姉妹、ここに。
But on whose behest?
エリカ教の家具どもは自己紹介を。ガートルード、異端審問補佐官なり。
コーネリア、異端審問補佐官なり。
The two of them could also be seen on the second floor balcony. They sat apart from Virgilia's group. Then, Delana, who was seated between the two, slowly stood up. She had a presence and dignity about her, as though she was overseeing everything from that place. Oh, you can just come down?
あなたには期待しています。私を失望させないでください。
お互い全力でぶつかるだけだ。
ドラノールの出番は本来なら必要ありません。しかし魔女側が醜く言い逃れをもてあそぶため、 それを断罪してもらわねばなりません。書斎での
Have someone take the rule book and just fucking bludgeon them in the head with it.
最後にご挨拶申し上げます。本魔女集会の進行管理を命ぜられたシエスタ姉妹近衛隊であります。
Alright, cool. You guys are the bailiffs.
よろしくお願いします。
Are those... Is that what the cops are called who, like, stand at the courtroom?
以上で全ての駒の自己紹介を終了するであります。一同に会するは全38名。
Jesus Christ. Well, you know, the stakes make up a good portion of that, so... The number of characters was 38 if you only took the 5th game into account. But if you add up all the pieces who appeared in previous games too, it'd probably rise even higher. Well, you have to include all the fucking goats. This mysterious game, which had so often been likened to chess, now had far more pieces than a chessboard.
いいわ。では始めようかしら。おっきに始めてちょうだい。ああ、悪いけどそこのヤギさん。ジュースのおかわりお願いね。私にはポップコーンを。ああ、そうだったね。
That's right, I need to get some popcorn.
悪魔の感激はポップコーンと相場が決まってると。
I love just air fried popcorn. You know, get one of the ones where it's like really loud, and it spins all the kernels around in it, and then pop, 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 they come out the little chute. I prefer that more than microwave popcorn. Microwave popcorn's gross. There's always too much butter or too much salt. I'm crazy. I mentioned this before. It's the texture thing with me. It's like it's why I like eating just like those like Quaker Oats rice cakes, where it's just like the puffed rice, you know, lightly salted. It's like eating styrofoam. I love it. Anyway, I'm like that with air popcorn too. You know, just a little bit of salt. I don't even need the butter. Just I like eating it. It just my brain's like, oh yeah, that's good.
楽しませてもらうわ。あと紅茶とからし味噌をもらうわ。
Mustard. Okay, not like mustard you put on a hot dog, but probably like mustard plant or probably not mustard seeds going in your miso, but well, maybe. At the sound of her voice, the Chester sister troops straightened up, lifted their right knees, and stamped down hard on the floor with their heels. Gonna get shin splints. It became a low, deep rumble in the ground, which instantly erased all the chatter in the cathedral, and turned their eyes and expressions even more hollow and empty. The room fell back into silence, almost as though there were a collection of wax models. Amidst this heavy silence, there was the sound of footsteps, as Erica walked down to the center where she could catch everyone's attention. When she signaled with her chin, a goat attendant appeared from behind a pillar, and carried a single, plain chair out into the front and center of the room. It must have been the defendant's chair. Just the cheap $2 plastic lawn chair.
第5のゲームの殺人犯は
Who's it gonna be? Who could it be?
後宮夏日さん。
What? No, you don't. Whoa!
あなたが犯人です。
Erica pointed at Nazi and spoke. The Nazi wax doll alone twitched and regained its expression. It was an expression of panic.
シエスタ姉妹、被告人を席へ連れてってちょうだい。
了解であります。
ちょっと何をするのです。話しなさい。
45 and 410 pinned Nazi's arms behind her back and led her to the chair in the center. Nazi resisted, but the Chester sisters were surprisingly strong, and she couldn't do anything. She turned to the relatives for help, but they just remained silent like wax models.
これよりフルデエリカはなぜ後宮夏日にだけ犯行が可能か
再構築してご覧に入れます。ベアト、もちろん受けるでしょ。
I mean, the Kinzo, I mean not Kinzo, the Hideyoshi murder, you know, it's pretty straightforward pinning that one on her.
当然よ。後ろ宮家顧問錬金術師黄金のベアトリーチェだ。フルドエリカ、受けて立つぞ。我が主に着せようと企むその濡れ衣。引き裂いてくれるわ。ベアトリーチェ。
We're talking a big game.
安心せよ夏日。そなたはわらわの主。そして心に
I
片
don't
役
know,
の
when I
足を
really want
刻み
Beatrice defending me in a court of law.
身に覚えなき罪に怯えるでない。
I don't think the judge would take too kindly to all her cackling. At those words, Natsuki jerked back and gulped. Her panic finally disappeared, and she stood up straight.
そうですとも。私は後宮夏日、後宮家を冒涜するあらゆる挑戦を受けて立ちましょう。
どうしてこの状況にそのような虚勢が張れるやら。あなた、本当にどこのかけらでもいじめられっかな。
Yeah.
ではベルン、
I mean, it's fun punching down.
主張どうぞ。ベルンカステルは主張するわ。このゲームの犯人は人間、後宮夏日。
Submit the evidence
ベアトもどう
for
ぞ。
cross-examination.
ベアトリーチェは主張する。このゲームの犯人は人間にあらず。わらわこそ犯人であるわ。
Bernkastel, who smiled daringly, and Beatrice, who smiled firmly, crossed gazes.
お聞きね、魔女ども、人間ども。一つの真実に二つの主張が現れたわ。犯人は人間、後宮夏日か。犯人は魔女、ベアトリーチェか。魔女が勝てば第5のゲームの真相は闇に消える。エリカが勝てばゲーム版より魔女幻想は打ち滅ぼされる。つまりベアトにとってのみ負けることの許されない勝負だけれど、覚悟は大丈夫？
何の覚悟が必要だというのか。
But it wouldn't be very fun if, you know, the entire story just ended here, so I'm gonna worm your way out of it.
元より望むところよ。
If Erica were to win, the witch illusion would be destroyed. That would mean the existence of the witch would be denied. Beato was fighting for her life. However, this wasn't the only time she had been fighting for her life. Yeah, just like the time she ate 2 Popeye's biscuits without anything to drink. It had always been a life-or-death struggle, even when she fought with Battler. Because if Battler had won and broken through the witch illusion in any of the previous games, Beato would have been destroyed. Just like I was almost destroyed. True story, eating some Popeyes in my hotel room at Keesler down in Mississippi. I had just finished tech school, but my flight wasn't for another week or so, because that's when it was cheapest to go. So I booked a room at the inn, and you know, I just finished, you know, 4 months of pretty intense training, like mentally. So I'm just gonna stay in my room and only leave to eat, which I did. But I went to go to Popeyes. I got like one of the chicken tender meals with the biscuit. Went back to my room and started eating it, and I fucking choked on the biscuit, that dry ass sawdust biscuit. And I'm like, oh fuck, like I'm actually choking, not like, oh, it's just stuck in my throat, like full on. Like I can't breathe. And I'm like, I'm gonna fucking die in this room. But I was able to get it dislodged, and I survived, which is why I'm here now, talking to you about the time the Popeyes biscuit almost killed me in a hotel room in Mississippi. Fuck Keesler, fuck Biloxi. Biloxi sucks ass, shitty ass city. It would have been better if I was over 21 at the time, because there's a lot of cool casinos there. But when you're there when you're 19 and you can't drink, you can't go to the casinos, you're fucking walking everywhere. It's hot. You're there from fucking June to October. It's hurricane season. It rains every day. It's 100 degrees. It's fucking 100% humidity. I fucking still get the athlete's foot flaring up from the time I was there 8 fucking years ago. Jesus Christ. I hate the South. I hate Mississippi. Sherman did nothing wrong. except for that stuff where he genocided the Native Americans. But if we look past that, if we're talking just the South, he was right. Atlanta deserved it. Rant over.
それはどうでしょう。ベルンカステル卿には情けの心がありません。彼女は自分の望んだ活躍をしなかった困り、温かい処遇を与えるとは思う。
Also, the ocean there sucked. It was, the beach was closed like the entire time I was there because there was like fucking flesh-eating bacteria in the water, so no one could go swimming. Not that you would want to anyway. It's like a shitty little estuary, fucking coastline, so it's full of sediment and silt and like shit water flowing down from all the other rivers. God, I fucking hate Biloxi. Biloxi sucks! It was inconceivable that the ruthless Bernkastel would place no blame at all on a piece who had suffered defeat. Erica was probably fighting for her life just the same. The two claims would clash, and one would be weeded out. One would fall, and would not leave this place alive. The only ones who truly had nothing to lose were those witches.
Okay, 問題ないわ。さあ、始めなさい。それでは、私から始めたいと思います。
Sure.
秀吉さん殺しについてはとてもシンプル。夏日さん以外の方を疑うことは不可能なはずです。私たちは被害者と夏日さんを除いて全員が同じ部屋にいたじゃないですか。
It really was simple. Everyone except Nazi was in the parlor. And because it was so simple, it was decisive.
どう考えても秀吉を殺したのは夏日じゃないの。いいえ、逆だわ。どう考えても夏日以外に秀吉は殺せないじゃないの。
Yeah, get around to the locked room because she was in there to begin with, and then she never left.
議論も反論の余地もないわ。
ですから誤解です。確かに私にはアリバイがないかもしれません。しかしアリバイがないことはすなわち犯人であるとの証拠にはならないはず。
夏日にだけアリバイがないのは分かった。だが待て、殺害現場は密室であったぞ。夏日に限らず誰であってもあの部屋での犯行は不可能だったはずだ。魔法で殺人が遂行できるわらわを除いてな。
That's a pretty flimsy cover so far,
密室トリックであるハウダニットについては後で説明します。とりあえず今はフーダニットから。
Okay.
よって以上により秀吉さん殺しはナチスさん以外の人物を疑うのは不可能となるわけです。
お嬢様、ここをさらに切り込むと危険。
同感だわ。夏日が秀吉の部屋のクローゼットに隠れていたのは事実。復讐要求で所在の確認を行われると追い詰められるわ。
であろうな。ゲームの支配者はラムダデルタ教だ。あやつが面白がれば事実に関係なく夏日が犯人ということで確定されてしまうぞ。
If the typhoon were to pass and the police were to come to perform a scientific investigation, perhaps the true culprit would be identified and the false accusations against Nazi lifted. However, the police would never arrive at this closed-off Rokenjima. In other words, the real truth would never be revealed. Inside a cat box that will never be opened, false charges that everyone accepts have exactly the same value as the truth.
おそらく向こうの狙いはシンプルな秀吉殺しで夏日様が犯人であるとの印象を確定させ、その上で不確定要素の多い第一の番の再構築に入るつもりでしょう。
ゲームマスターに疑われた状態での進行は最悪よ。主導権を握るべきだわ。
You know, you're roaching her sight and she's got the fucking slipper raised up, like just eyeing you, like, fucking try me, bitch.
ラムダデルタ教、ご存知の通り、第5のゲームでも多くの殺人が起き、深夜から早朝までの短からぬ時間をまたいでおる。
Yeah.
いきなり秀吉の殺人から始まり、時間が行ったり来たりしてしまうようでは混乱してしまうというもの。ここは 時系列に従い、順番に進めていくのが良いかと
start
思
in
う
the
が、
beginning and,
い
you
か
know,
がか。
work your way forwards.
異議提出。犯人を告発する過程において時系列など意味をなさない。
異議提出。クルドエリカは時系列を混乱させることによって印象操作を行っている。
ああ、よくわかんないのは私もごめんだわ。ベアとの主張を認めるわよ。エリカはいきなり第2の番から始めないで、第1の番から始めなさい。
I definitely saw Erica click her tongue. Now I understand. This is how the tales of Rokkenjima are created. After being guided by Virgilia and meeting Beatrice, now I stand here, at this peak from which I can see everything below me, and I finally understand the truth of this world.
これが以前にワルギリアが話してくれたことなんだな。
ええ、そうですよ。ここでは真実など脆い。
両者が主張する限り、異なる真実が同時に存在できる。
Yes, this really is a trial. Both sides put forth their own truths. This here truly is the Braun tube trial that Virgilia once used as an analogy.
では、ラムダデルタ教のご命令に従い、最初の第1の番の事件から話を始めます。ご存知の通り、10月4日、親族会議の小休止の後、ナツシさんは先に休むと一人退席しました。
She ran over and fucking killed everyone
よ
in
っ
the
て
guest house.
その時刻から翌朝まで完全にアリバイは消失します。
The culprit is Ushimi and Natsuki. This is because Natsuki is the only one without an alibi. I don't know if I actually control that, or if I just got lucky with the time I hit enter, but
ナツヒ以外にもアリバイの怪しい人物などいくらでもいるはず。それら全員の疑いを晴らさぬ限り、ナツヒを犯人呼ばわりさせるわけにはいかぬぞ。
the culprit cannot be definitely said to be Natsuhi, as long as there are other people without alibis. Nope, it moves on its own. Oh god. Natsuki was the only one without an alibi between 2400 and 0100. This is being used as a basis for claiming that she is the culprit. However, it cannot be said for certain as long as the following possibilities exist. It is not possible for Battler to be in the guest house. Is it not possible that Battler in the guest house committed the crime? Is it not possible that Nanjo in the guest house committed the crime? Is it not possible that Goto in the guest house committed the crime? Is it not possible that Kumasawa in the guest house committed the crime? Is it not possible that Genji in the mansion committed the crime? Is it not possible that Kraus in the mansion committed the crime? Is it not possible that other people in the mansion besides Nazi committed the crime? Is it not possible that George and the others were actually just playing dead? What if the second floor was reachable without going past Erica in the lounge? What if the crime was committed before 2400? What if the crime was committed after 0300? What if the crime was committed outside the interval of 2400 and 0100? What if someone in the mansion committed the crime between 2400 and 0300?
確かに、ナツヒが怪しいとそこまで言い張るなら、エリカはナツヒ以外全員のアリバイを示してみせるべきだわ。ねえ、ベル。
ええ、無論よ。エリカはそれを完全に
Alright,
説
let's
明
start from the
してるわ。
top. Go down the checklist. The culprit is Ushimi and Natsuhi. As we will prove, everyone else has an alibi.
当然です、我が主。では、順にご説明していきたいと思います。源氏殺しは一度忘れ、ゲストハウスの事件のみに絞って進めます。となれば、ゲストハウスにいた使用人を疑いたいですよね。
They were in the proximity.
あの晩は、郷田さんと熊沢さんがゲストハウスにおられました。そうですね、お二方。
She turned to face the direction where those two people were seated, and just those two wax models had come back to life. When they weren't allowed to speak, they probably weren't even granted a soul. In that case, it would have been much better if Natsuhi's soul could simply have disappeared as well. Natsuhi, who was in the defendant's chair, kept her soul the whole time, and was constantly hanging her head, looking nervous. Goto hurried to his feet and answered Erica's question.
はい、そうです。私はあの晩、
一人でゲストハウスの使用人室におりました。
私はこの老体ですからね。夜は答えますから、ゲストハウスの控え室に戻ってお先にすぐ休ませてもらいましたとも。
では郷田と熊沢もアリバイを失うではありませんか。一人で控え室で休んでいたと自称する熊沢、一人で使用人室にいたと自称する郷田、そのどちらにもいとこ部屋へ行き殺人を行う余地があるはずです。
めっそうもない。どうしてそんなことを私たちが。
そうですともそうですとも、人殺しなんてそんなとんでもないことです。
Well, in this case, the knife across the neck. That's kind of how they died from the looks of it. The culprit cannot be definitely said to be Natsuki. After all, it's not possible that Kumasawa in the guest house committed the crime. It's not possible that Goda in the guest house committed the crime.
夏日がすべて語っておるわ。控え室で一人眠った熊沢も、使用人室に一人こもった郷田も、寝室の夏日と何も変わらぬ。どちらもアリバイを失うではないか。
ご安心を。この二人は殺人犯ではないと。まず熊沢さんは晩餐後、私たちと一緒に屋敷を出てゲストハウスへ行き、そのまま控え室に入り朝まで眠っていました。郷田さんも同じです。
Can you say
事務
it
作業
right?
を終え、その後に私たちとラウンジで談笑して、両名とも殺人を行う余地はありません。
いよいよ来たな。それではわらわも腰を上げるとしよう。もはやそなたの出番は終わりだ、エリカ。そなたの頼れる用心棒を呼び出すがいい。
Beato glanced at where Delaner sat on the second floor balcony. However, Delaner just stared back with those usual expressionless eyes.
副将要求、郷田と熊沢のアリバイについて完全な証拠がある。
副将拒否。なんで敵にヒントを？答えるわけもない。
お聞きから無駄デルタ卿。証拠はないそうだぞ。証拠もなく郷田と熊沢のアリバイを主張しても良いものなのか。
道理だわ。どうなのよベルン、エリカ。どうして郷田と熊沢のアリバイを主張できるわ
け？引っ込めエリカ。
Did Erica put that tape on the door to like everyone's room? You know that at the corner of the door and like the door frame with like the little slits put in it so that when the door opens, she knows.
わらわの相手はそこのドラノールよ。貴様ごとき人間に魔女の相手は務まらぬわ。
いいえ、ドラノールの出番は必要ありません。あなたの言う人間ごときが魔女を打ち破るからこそ魔女幻想が否定されるのです。
Fucking power of duct tape and a sharpie.
ならばどうぞ赤で青でお好きなように受けて立ちますよ。
In response to Erica's challenge, Beato smiled boldly yet gracefully and slowly stood up. And they glared at each other between the floor and the balcony.
郷田にも熊沢にもそれぞれアリバイがない。二人はゲストハウスにおり、いつでもいとこ部屋へいたり犯行を行うことができた。それが否定できぬ限り、夏日を犯人呼ばわりすることなどできぬぞ。
Beato's blue truth stuck out rapidly. The curtain had finally dropped and the battle had begun.
人間であるエリカに使える赤はない。ドラノールを呼ばずにどう切り返してみせると？
エリカに使えずともその主のベルンカステル卿は使えます。油断はできませんぞ。
Yeah, she's got some strong strikers.
有効だわ。どうするのベルン？あんたかドラノールが相手を変わる？
まだ私の出番ではありません。そしてベルンカステル卿の出番でもありません。
ええ、そうよ。この程度じゃ、私たちの出番には
Don't need to bust out the big guns just
フル
yet.
ドエリカというただの人間風情がベアトを打ち破ってこそ意味があるのよ。 人間に打ち破られてこそわかるわ。黄金のベアトリーチェなどとのたまう偽りの魔女が人間以下の幻に過ぎなかったとね。
それが本当にできるなら最高に面白いんだけどね。いいわエリカ、受けて立ちなさい。
まず熊沢さんですが、とてもシンプルな話です。
OK。
熊沢さん、ご起立を。
はい。
熊沢さんは昨夜就寝されてから朝事件を知らされるまで一度でも控え室を出ましたか？
いいえ、朝までぐっすりでしたとも。
Yep, there you have it. Case closed.
私、実は昨夜の晩餐の後にエヴァさんと談笑していて、面白い話を聞かせてもらっていたんです。
Okay.
それを試させてもらいました。
それとは何か。まさか。
そうです。金蔵を書斎に追い詰め封じたもの。
Oh, the little, your little spin on the receipt thing.
なんだと、あいつまさかそれを熊沢さんの控室
に。エリカはゲストハウスにいたのですから。
Well, I guess the duct tape is better than the receipt, because once it's split, you can't just stick it back in, and you know, it's got a couple signatures on it. So you can't just replace it either.
莫大な黄金が発見されて、どんな事件が起こってもおかしくない不気味な夜でした。探偵あるところ、事件あり。私は何かの事件が起こることを予見して、あらかじめアリバイを失いそうな人物にこれで封印をさせていただいたのです。
Erica held a small, folded piece of brown paper high in the air.
私はこれを一緒にゲストハウスに戻った熊沢さんが休むと言って控室に入ったのを見届け、これを使って扉を封印したのです。そして朝、事件が発覚し大騒ぎになり、私は真っ先に熊沢さんの控室を確認し、そして封印が健在であることを確認しました。以上により私は熊沢さんのアリバイを証明できます。
Okay. Kumasawa has an alibi. Scratch that one out. Alright, next up, Goda.
グッド、素晴らしいアリバイだわ。一部の隙もない。熊沢はエリカと共にゲストハウスに戻り、そのまま控室に入って休み、
Is it second verse same as the first for Goda, or you mix it up a little?
つまり熊沢はゲストハウスへ戻って以降、朝まで2階に上がっていない。
The proof Erica had shown was elevated by burnt Costello and became red truth. This truth, which had become red, could no longer be overturned even by Beato. In other words, in that instant, Kumasawa's perfect alibi had been absolutely guaranteed.
ほほう、ならばゴーダについてはどうか。
ゴーダさんのゲストハウス到着後はすぐに使用人室にこもられました。そして同様にこれで封印させていただきました。そしてローザさんが午前1時にお戻りになった時は、たまたま廊下に出た私が気づき、使用人室のゴーダさんにそれを伝えたのです。
Okay.
その時封印が健在でしたので、ゲストハウスに到着してから午前1時までゴーダさんが使用人室を出ていません。そしてその後はラウンジで午前3時まで私と一緒にいました。そして午前3時以降は私は2階にいましたので、ゴーダさんが2階に上がってこないことを保証できます。
エリカの封印はゴーダが午前1時まで使用人室にこもっていたことを証明するわ。そして午前3時までのアリバイを一緒にラウンジで過ごしたエリカが証明するわ。そして、それ以降の朝までに2階へ一切立ち入ってないこともエリカが証明するわ。つまりゴーダはゲストハウスへ戻って以降、朝まで2階に上がっていない。
Well, that's Goda cleared. Goda has an alibi. And I'm blind. That white screen. Yep, that's most certainly all the other stuff that we need to get through.
赤き真実、有効だわ。お見事よ、エリカ。あんたのその扉の封印によるアリバイがベルンに認められて赤き真実に昇華されたわ。
ありがとうございます、我が主。我こそは探偵。人間でありながら赤き真実を行使することのできる人間を超えし者。
You're so smart and cool, Erica.
人間を超えただ。この思い上がり目、口走るには1000年早いわ。
You're really just setting flags all day, aren't you, here,
お
Beatrice?
かしな追求があると面倒なので先にはっきりさせます。というかむしろこれは最初にするべきでした。前後したことをお詫びします。24時の時点でのゲストハウスの状況です。黄金が発見され緊急の親族会議になり、バトラさんと親族たちの屋敷へ。ゲストハウスには私といとこ3人、南條先生、郷田さん、熊沢さんが残りました。郷田さん、熊沢さんのアリバイについてはすでにご説明の通り。
Yep, 2 down.
ジョージさん、ジェシカさん、マリアさんの3人はいとこ部屋でトランプで遊んでいました。実は私ほんの少しだけ混ぜていただきましたので、この時刻に生存していたのをはっきり確認しています。我が主、以上の復唱を要求します。
ええ、応じるわ。ゲストハウスには24時の時点でジョージ、ジェシカ、マリアは生存していて2階のいとこ部屋にいた。
OK.
南條、郷田、熊沢は1階にいた。あともうもったいぶることないからこれまでに出ている犠牲者の死亡も確定させてくわね。ジョージ、ジェシカ、マリア、ローザ、現地の5人はちゃんと死んでるわ。あのばっくりいった首で死んだふりなんてできるわけないでしょ。
Yeah, that'd be pretty rough. No murder occurred before 2400. We guarantee that George's group is dead. Well, there goes 2 of them.
副賞を感謝します、我が主。これをはっきりさせないと私がアリバイを保証した以前の段階ですでに殺されていたとか、実は死んでなかったとか、
And none of it would matter.
いろいろ言われかねませんので。
Unsurprisingly, Beatrice's side couldn't get away with the simple plan of claiming that the victims were only playing dead. But, in order to overcome Goda and Kumasawa's alibis, it should have been possible to suppose that the crime occurred before those doors were sealed. However, the opponent had predicted this move perfectly. It had now been shown in red that the crime did not occur before the time period covered by Erica's alibis.
そうそう、犠牲者の確認されてる最後の生存時刻、それを最初に言ってほしかったわね。これで24時以前の話は無視していいことになるわ。
You gotta leave it a little ambiguous, so that way the other side can't formulate a perfect defense.
さらに言うと24時の時点で屋敷の2階廊下には夏日とクラス、
Having their
現地
secret
がいた。
meeting.
残りは全員親族会議の食堂よ。もちろんこの時点ではまだ殺人は起こってない。源氏も健在よ。
Confirmation that at 2400, those said to be inside the mansion were indeed inside the mansion. Addendum, it has already been shown that none of them left the mansion before 0100, excluding Natsuki.
それはエリカが観測したことじゃないけれど、それが確定してないとゲームが進まないものね。いいわ。 その赤き真実を認めるわ。
赤き真実、ありがとうございます。
Yeah, you get a little red truth as a treat. Since Erica had been in the guest house, it was only natural that she could explain the situation there. However, since she hadn't been in the mansion at that time, explaining the situation over there would have been extremely difficult for her. Beato would normally have attacked her there with the blue truth, saying that the people in the dining hall had all agreed to keep the same story, and that someone might have snuck out of the dining hall and committed murder in the guest house. However, because Byrne had instantly settled that matter with the red truth, Beato had completely lost her chance to strike back.
おのれ。
厄介ですな。これほどまでに不利とは。
これじゃまるでかつてのリーチェとバトラの戦いが逆になったみたいね。
Don't feel too good to be on the receiving end now, does it?
いや、その時よりもさらに状況は悪いかと。
At a glance, the fight between the two of them resembled our previous fights. However, there's some vital differences. The first was whether or not Beato was the Game Master. The Beato who fought against me was the Game Master. She knew all the truth. And I feel like I'm gonna have to sneeze. Oh. And then choke. Oh god, I think my allergies started to flare up. That's why she was able to use the red truth at will. However, the current Beato isn't the Game Master. She's just a single piece on the game board. In other words, even Beato doesn't know the truth. So you could say that Beato is now in the same position I once was. Also, though Erica may seem to be in the same position I once was, the situation for her is totally different. She's connected to the witch called Bernkastel. Even though she isn't the Game Master, she's capable of elevating Erica's statements to become Red Truth. Because of this, Erica can use the Red Truth even though she's neither a witch nor the Game Master. Beato, who's supposed to be the witch, possesses no truth or red she can use. And yet the detective, Erica, can use the Red Truth. The advantage has completely flipped over to the other side. You could probably say that the current Beato is in a much worse position than I was when I fought with her. After I got used to the game, Beato stopped responding to my repetition requests, but in the beginning, she responded to almost all of them, giving me quite a few hints. That's why we were able to fight on par. However, Bernkastel is different. She fully understands the rules of this game, and is prepared to corner Beato without even a hint of restraint. And all this made me realize Beato was going easy on me so that we could fight on par with each other. Yeah, the kitty gloves were definitely on those first couple rounds, even if it didn't feel like it.
これはなかなかに面白い戦いだ。なるほど。わらわはかつてのバトラの立場で戦っているというわけだ。ベアト。かつてのそなたを無能と蔑んだわらわがこの程度。まだまだ答えぬぞ。
ゴーダとクマさんを疑うことはもう不可能だわ。これ以上論点にしても勝てない。
だな。別のアプローチに切り替えよ
う。順当に行くなら次は南條でしょう。彼もまた
Why you gotta pick on my man now, Nanjo?
人物です。
Almost call him Nanjo.
Naruto。ラウンジでエリカと一緒だったわ。しかしその前後の時間帯が空白になるは
ず。そうだね。そこをつく。南條、そなたは確かエリカとゴーダと一緒にゲストハウス1階のラウンジでくつろいでいたのだ。
You know, just drinking old fashions, you know, as normal people do. Is it not possible that Nanjo of the guest house committed the crime with this underage girl? I'm quite sure she just got some Shirley Temples or whatever, some strawberry daiquiris, virgin.
私はエリカさんとずっとご一緒でした。
ラウンジで過ごした時間は
午前1時から午前3時までです。
そうです。午前1時から午前3時までの間。 私と南條先生、
Yeah, and having
郷田さんの
the
3人
detective
は
be the one
ラ
to
ウン
confirm
ジ
your
でくつ
alibi
ろい
is
でいま
pretty
した。
airtight.
我が主、復唱要求です。応じるわ。午前1時から午前3時まで、エリカ、南條、郷田の3人はゲストハウス1階のラウンジで過ごした。
Though she had flat out refused Beato's repetition request, she responded to Erica's immediately. The red truth was starting to corner Beato. Beato grimaced as though in pain, but she still struck back with the blue truth. No, she really was in pain. As alibis were steadily established for everyone other than Natsuhi, the witch illusion was also being denied. Beato perceived the denial of her existence as pain.
ならば、ラウンジで過ごした時間帯の前後はアリバイがないはず。
He fucking flew up the stairs like a lightning bolt and just
南條にも犯行は可能である。
And then when he put the knife back in its sheath, went, and then that's when all the blood shot out of everyone all at once.
南條がラウンジでエリカと一緒に1時から3時までいたことは分かったけど、それ以前とそれ以後はどうなのかしらね。どう、エリカ？
はい。まず午前1時以前のアリバイ。これは全く問題ありません。私が24時までいとこ部屋でトランプで一緒に遊んでおり。
They couldn't have been killed then because I was there with them.
それからラウンジに降りて、そこで南條先生とお会いしたからです。
そうでしたな。24時に降りてきたエリカさんとお会いして少しお話をしていましたら、すっかり意気投合してしまい。
Oh, you're really big into it too?
私、非分の謎解きで書庫に入った時、海外の名作ミステリーの原書が多数保管されているのを見ていました。ですので、それらを手に取りながらぜひ議論がしたくなりまして、私たちは書庫に移り、ずっとおしゃべりをしていました。ラウンジに場所を移すまでずっとです。
The archive in the guest house had enough books in it that you might even call it a small library. In it were several famous foreign mystery novels that Kinzo had once taken a liking to. Of course, they were all originals and in English, but English was no problem for both Erica and Nanjo. On that occasion, Erica had again borrowed the key to the archive from Goda in the servant room. She added that she had rechecked the seal at this point and, of course, reset it. Damn her. Even though she keeps it sealed for anyone else to enter or leave, she alone enters and leaves whenever she wants.
なるほど。つまり24時から就寝する午前3時までの間、ずっと南條と一緒だったわけね。なら南條のアリバイは一番盤石ということになるわ。はい、
そういうことになります。我が主、復唱要求です。応じるわ。24時以降。 エリカは午前3時までずっと南條と一緒にいたわ。
At midnight, the crime in the cousin's room still hadn't occurred. So this establishes an alibi for the period of time he had spent in the lounge.
その後、私たちは午前1時に書庫から廊下へ出ます。すると偶然、お戻りになられたローザさんと鉢合わせになりました。そして私が郷田さんにそれを教えました。客人を出迎えるのは使用人の役目だろうと思いまして。
You know, more chance for him to score brownie points. Goda asked if he should bring a towel, but Rosa refused. She quickly headed up to the second floor, and then proceeded to crawl into bed completely wet. I mean, Rosa's a fucking weirdo, so that tracks. At this point, Erica, Goda, and Nanjo gathered together and decided to have a drink. Their alibis in the lounge up till 3 a.m. have already been proclaimed in red, so there are no problems there.
続きまして、午前3時以降、お開きになった後の南條先生のアリバイです。午前3時にバトラさんがお戻りになり、ラウンジは解散。私と南條先生、バトラさんの3人は2階へ上がりました。
Yeah, 3 a.m. is a good time to, you know, wrap it up and go to sleep.
その際、もちろん
I say it's approaching 3 p.m. for me, which is like 3 a.m. for a normal person.
あとは事件発覚まで同じです。私はバトラさんの悲鳴と同時に部屋を飛び出し、 南條先生の部屋の扉に封印がされていることを確認しました。よって南條先生のアリバイは午前1時以前、午前3時以降ともに完璧なのです。
Good for you, Nanjo. You didn't do it. Nanjo has an alibi. Oof. Pachu, 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 pachu.
あなたの封印も赤き真実も完璧よ。南條は午前3時までエリカと一緒にいたというアリバイがある。そして午前3時から朝まで自室を出ていない。
Using the seal she had placed on the doors, Erica was granted red truths from Berncastel one after another. When I gave Beato a repetition request, it was about maneuvering and tactics. But it's totally different for Erica. For her, it's like having a trump card which makes red whenever she
こ
wants.
れでゲストハウスの容疑者全員のアリバイ証明を終えました。問題はありませんね。
問題はあるぞ。それはだな。その
Yeah, that I'm losing and I don't like it. Beato racked her brains to find some point to latch onto, but Erica's red had been ruthlessly perfect. There was no point she could take issue with. Beato kept thinking hard, trying to fault Erica on something, but her expression was so wrought with desperation that anyone could tell by looking.
ベアトを却下するわ。私は何も問題を感じない。極めてポップでキュートでパーフェクトだわ。これでゲストハウスの人間全員のアリバイは証明された。
待ちな、エリカ。俺を抜く気か。後ろ宮バトラにだって犯行のチャンスはあるはずだ。何しろ、
Yeah, I saw you sitting on the top of the
犠
list.
牲者たちと同じ部屋で一夜を共にしたんだぞ。その俺を差し置いて議論を先になんか進ませねえ。
Talking out of turn. At that moment, an arrow twisted like a golden snake and hit me. It didn't pierce through me, but it slapped me hard on the cheek like a whip.
バトラ様の発言権はまだ認められておりません。ご注意を。
はあ、分かっておるぞバトラ。
Smarts.
そしてすまぬ。許せ。エリカ、まだバトラのアリバイを示していないぞ。バトラは犠牲者たちと枕を並べて眠った男。
Mm-hmm. Under the bus she goes.
誰よりも一番に
Sacrifice will not be
疑わなけ
forgotten.
ればならぬのではないのか。
Is it not possible that Battler in the guest house committed the crime?
ベアトの言う通りだわ。
Yeah, that's a very good question that we'll have to pick up next time. On the next episode of Umineko. I told you guys it'd be a shorter one today. And anyway, this doesn't seem like we're gonna get a break in the pace anytime soon. So yeah, catch you guys all next time for the next episode of Umineko. But before we go, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and notification bell. See you guys all next time. Once again, I need to process this and get it uploaded. Mucho pronto. Immediate osodo. Yeah. Ciao. Mwah.